Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Today we have the Seiko Sport 5 GMT Batman colors. This watch is making a bit of a splash because of the price point and the fact that it's an automatic GMT from Seiko. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. This will be a full technical review, which we'll get right into after a quick introduction. I'm here again at Royal Jewelers in Andover, Massachusetts. This is where I bought my Tudor Black Bay and my OntheWrist Big Crown pointer date. Royal Jewelers is one of my favorite jewelry stores to go to, and they've been kind enough to let me film using one of their watches. They have a great selection of Seikos, and so I wanted to take full advantage. Let's start off by clarifying what a GMT watch is. GMT stands for Greenwich Mean Time, and with respect to a watch, it means a watch that can track multiple time zones. You'll notice actually 4 hands on this watch. This red pointer points to a second time zone. You can see right there it's at about 20 military time. And that paired with the outer bezel, which rotates, lets you keep track of actually 3 separate time zones. Now, talking about some of the design details of this watch, you'll see the dial is kind of like a blue and black. It almost changes colors and warps as you look outwards. The hands are fairly fat and large with some great lume, which you'll see later. I really like that the GMT is in red along with the hand. Very high legibility and aesthetically very pleasing. Large indices, again, high visibility. And coming out to the bezel, the Batman color is black and blue, can be seen there, and I really think it's just a killer color combination. Something worth noting is this bezel is a very smooth transition. There's no clicking like in a dive watch, and I think it could be knocked out of place if you're not too careful, but the inner chaptering does have the military time on it, so you can always keep track no matter what. And of course, the elephant in the room, the crown is at 4 o'clock. Visually, I like this on some watches. I think it works very well for this one, but I know some people have very strict preferences when it comes to where the crown is actually located. Let's get into the technical specs. I'm going to pull up the technical specs on the side here. So the diameter is 42.5 millimeters. The thickness is 13.6 millimeters, not that thick. The lug to lug is a nice tight 46 millimeters, and the movement is the 4R34 automatic GMT movement with a 41-hour power reserve. And the bracelet is, they're calling a 5-row bracelet. The crystal is a hardlex crystal with the Cyclops over the date, which you can see there. The water resistance is 100 meters. There's an exhibition back where you can see the movement there, and there's actually some pretty nice finishing on some of those plates. You can see that horizontal grain going across the screen. Overall, this is much nicer than I would expect from Seiko at this price point, so it's really beautiful to see this back, and you can also see how small the links are on the back, which helps you get a really comfortable fit with the bracelet. And as you can see here, there is quite a lot of lume on the indices and the hands. Incredible visibility out of this one. Here we have it on my 7¼ inch wrist. The 42.5 millimeter diameter with the 46 lug to lug is a perfect fit on my size wrist. I think it has very solid wrist presence, not too overbearing, and is a good size where you can go up or down. This Jubilee style bracelet I absolutely love. The difference in the smaller center links and the outer links, plus the difference in the finishing, really makes it pop and is a wonderful addition to this watch. I'm really glad Seiko did it. All in all, a lot of wrist style for this watch. As typical with Seikos, I would give this full marks on wrist presence and style. But real quick, let's check what time it is. It looks like it's time to like and subscribe. Did you know that less than 3% of viewers are actually subscribed to the channel? So if you are enjoying this video and like my content, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button because it will significantly help this video in the YouTube algorithm. But thank you for watching, and let's get back to the review. Now let's talk MSRP and value. MSRP of this watch is $475 US. At that price point, it's surprising that Seiko can offer an automatic GMT movement. I really like that it has the Jubilee style bracelet exhibition back, but the one thing I would knock them for is the hardlex crystal. Now, this is not unique to this watch in particular. All of their watches actually, I think, have a hardlex crystal. I really would like to see Seiko step up to a sapphire crystal because a lot of micro brands at this price point will incorporate one. But overall, I think the feature set offered is pretty reasonable for that price point. Again, in the future, I would love that sapphire crystal to be there, and that will make this an absolute knockout. But fairly reasonable, automatic GMT movement under $500. Exciting to see this at a Seiko, and I'm curious to see what they have next. But let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this watch? Do you like the design? Do you think the price for the feature set matches? What about that crown at 4 o'clock? Let me know how you feel. I'd love to hear what you have to say. That's all for me today. This has been On the Wrist. Thank you for watching.